Alright, let's do this. In the last chapter, we discussed the meaning of being faster. To arrive at a destination faster means take less time to do so by maximizing physical speed and shortening the distance that needs to be traveled to gain maximum net coverage. Coverage is gained by achieving the positional element of angle and can then be optimized by adding body position and depth to the equation. Now that we understand how the three positional elements should be prioritized to gain maximum net coverage, we can shift our attention to where movements are directed when moving through a crease. There are three different directions of movement: far side, mid-ice, and near side. Each of them has the same positional priority, but a different direction of movement. First, let's focus on far side DOM. If T-pushing from point A at the top of the angle to point B at the opposite angle, there are three different paths a goaltender can take to arrive at their positional target: over the top, straight across, and through the middle. The distance drawn out in this graph between point A and point B is 10 centimeters. Let's assume the goaltender is moving at the same speed when going through each path. Which of the three do you think would be most efficient for the goaltender to take, and why? Since the time it takes us to move from one point to the other is predicated on the speed at which the goaltender is moving and the distance that has to be traveled, logically, would it be more efficient to just move in a straight line? Well, not necessarily. Although the goal is to arrive to a positional target quickly, the process or steps to reach that goal is of higher value. Let's imagine that a shot is released as the goalie is moving. Thus, the goalie only has enough time to travel half of the projected distance. In this drawing, that would mean 5 centimeters of the 10. By measuring the distance of the three examples, we can see that going straight across will make the goalie closer to their desired positional target. However, the positional element of angle has yet to be gained, which means that our little buddy still has no coverage. In the example where the goaltender went through the middle, although further from the positional target, it can be observed that angle has been achieved. This means there's a higher probability of a chance that a save will be made in situation 3 over the others, simply due to the coverage provided from obtaining angle. Coverage does not guarantee the goalie will stop the puck. It does, however, increase the probabilities that a save will be made. Since coverage mandates that the goaltender must have angle, if angle has yet to be achieved, the goaltender must direct their movement in a way that allows them to gain that specific positional element in the shortest amount of time. This is why the direction of movement when moving to the far side is angle. Whether the goalie is moving from their feet or their knees, from the top of the angle or from the post, any time when the puck moves laterally side to side, the far side movement has to be directed towards the angle. Let's imagine at this time that the puck is distributed high to low, and the goaltender must butterfly slide to get to position. Once again, we will take a look at three different paths the goaltender can take to get to position. The first is by sliding towards the receiving player. The second is by sliding straight across. The third is by sliding through the middle of the crease. If we conduct the same experiment where the goaltender only gets halfway there, we can see that by sliding through the middle, coverage has been achieved, therefore increasing the probabilities that a save will be made on that play. Now, what if the puck is distributed side to middle? What would be the direction of movement on a mid-ice play? In this experiment, let's imagine the goaltender is at the top of the angle and the puck is distributed to the slot. Again, our goaltender has three options. Number 1, moving out for depth towards the receiving player. 2, by combining angle and depth together to slope out. 3, by moving towards the middle to prioritize angle. In this scenario, let's imagine the goaltender only gets to move 2 centimeters before the shot gets released on net. If we draw out the amount of coverage built in those three situations, we will see that a combination of angle and depth by sloping out is more efficient. The same is true when moving off the post to the middle. Aiming the direction of movement to both angle and depth will maximize coverage and increase the probabilities that a save will be made over managing for angle or depth. And lastly is near side DOM. In this simulated play, the puck is passed from below the goal line to the near side. As we can observe, a goalie is already on angle. From there, as discussed in our previous chapter, body position should then be the next positional priority over depth to allow for better save activation on the shot release. Once body position has been achieved, the direction of movement would then be depth. Our goalie would have to move straight out towards the puck to maximize coverage. To recap, when moving to the far side, the DOM would be angle. When moving to the mid-ice, the DOM would be a combination of both angle and depth. And when moving to the near side, the direction of movement would be depth. And this will be true whether you're T-pushing, sliding, backside pushing, or shuffling to your positional target. In the next chapter to finish up the module, we'll focus on the differences between a direction of movement and a positional priority. But now it is time for our quirk of the week. And this week, my quirk is the Joe Rogan Experience MMA show number 32 with Faraz Zahabi. Faraz is a MMA coach who works with multiple UFC fighters, including the greatest mixed martial artist of all time, George Rush St. Pierre. His philosophy on training is very interesting. He propagates the idea of volume of rep over intensity of rep. He argues that true intensity can only be done once in a while. If someone redlines their body to the max, by nature, they would need to take a break. If they don't need to take a break, then that would just mean they haven't hit their maximum intensity level. His focus is by keeping his athletes within the flow state. This means finding the balance between the intensity of the task and the athlete's skills. By maintaining that balance, he explains, he is able to increase the maximum volume of reps executed by the individual athlete, thus expanding the consistency of those reps. If you're a parent, coach, or athlete, I highly recommend you take a full listen to the podcast. The link will be posted in the description down below. And with that, I wish you all a great week, stay healthy, and be well. Take care, everyone.